Boxing Doc. Boxing family, what we are witnessing is greatness. Andre Ward, SOG, pound for pound, #1. And I'm gonna go ahead and say this. It's gonna be very controversial. But after this win, his career isn't over, but he's on track to be the greatest of this era. This guy, in and around his division, goes into fights and takes out killers. Takes out killers. Edison Miranda, Mikkel Kessler, Arthur Abraham, Alan Green, Carl Froch, Chad Dawson, Sergey Kovalev. Guys, he's not fighting these guys at the end of their primes or right after their primes or right before them. He's fighting these killers right when they are at their peak, at the peak of their powers, right when they are the best version of themselves. He's taking out these killers at their best times. Andre Ward is a problem. And I'm telling you, we're witnessing greatness. I'm going to say he's the greatest. He's on track. He's on track to be the greatest of this era. And yes, that includes Mayweather. I couldn't find a round to give to Kovalev. I have to watch the fight again and again. And I'll come up with a more conclusive video on how I scored that fight. But I seriously couldn't give a round to Kovalev. Kovalev was doing great work in there, landing jabs. He found it very difficult to land right hands. And what I realized was he didn't really make any adjustments offensively. When he was throwing the 1-2 and seeing that it was very hard for him to touch Ward with that 1-2, he didn't switch it up. He kept doing the same thing. And to be honest, I didn't see that I want to end his career. Kovalev, he didn't come out with that passion, with that evil sentiment. I didn't see it in there. I mean, round 1, I think he tried to establish himself, and he was throwing hard right hands to the body. But once he saw that Ward was not deterred and actually was more of a dog in this fight, I think that broke Kovalev mentally. And as the fight was going on, Ward was throwing vicious body shots. He was working in there. Vicious body shots and countering up top too. Beautiful counters up top, and there were some nice exchanges. Ward would land 2, but Kovalev would land 1 heavy punch. And there were just beautiful exchanges all the way through. And I was just surprised at how well Ward was able to take Kovalev's shots this time around. Because Kovalev was still landing heavy punches. He's always going to be a heavy puncher. But Ward didn't seem shaken. And he was right there in the jaws of the lion. And he was doing the better work. Now, Kovalev got stopped, and people are going to look at the debatable low blows. They're on the belt line, which is a legal punch, especially when the cuts are pretty high up. So that's going to be a stupid excuse. In the fight that was built, no excuses. But if we're going to look at that, let's be objective. Let's understand the fight was over way before then. He got stopped when Ward landed one hell of a right hand, nearly took off Kovalev's head. And Kovalev has a granite chin. We know this. Pascal was landing bombs on him. Bombs, and he was able to eat it, still come forward and stop Pascal. But Ward made him eat a nasty right hand, a right hand that Kovalev did not see. And for that reason, it just spun his neck around. And he was hurt. He was gone. Legs were gone. He didn't know what to do. He was holding on for dear life. And Ward just attacked packed the body, a fusillade of punches to the body, which made Kovalev at that point knew, I need a way out of this fight. And any way to make it seem as if Ward was doing something that was illegal was Kovalev's way out. So punches to the belt line. Kovalev went down, bowed out. What did you think was going to happen when the ref saw you eat a really hard punch and then sees you wobbling all around there, not defending yourself and not throwing punches back, and then you crouching? What do you think is going to happen? The fight's going to get stopped. The fight's going to get stopped. He knew that. He was looking for a way out, guys. Kovalev was looking for a way out, I think, in round 7. And it's funny because, I don't know if you guys will recall, but Kovalev, after being interviewed on Media Day, was saying that, I didn't even feel this punch, He was throwing the uppercut, the uppercut. I didn't feel it, so I didn't even block it. Funny enough, Ward threw a similar punch to the lower abdomen, I believe in round 7 of Kovalev. And Kovalev, in melodramatic fashion, flopped over as if he'd been speared. As if he'd been impaled by some sharp object. And that's when at that point I knew Kovalev is done. He's actually gassed. He's so tired. And Ward's just turning up the intensity round by round. And Kovalev's like, there's no way I win this fight. This could end badly for me. I'm going to look for every opportunity to bow out of this fight. Ward literally tapped him on the lower abdomen. And Kovalev went down like he'd been stricken by some unfelt pain. It's crazy. Ward. I'm going to say it again. Definitely pound for pound #1. There's no argument in that anymore. I mean, to argue that would be stupid. But he's on track to go down as the greatest of this era for fighting killers in their prime. Boxing family, I want you to leave your comments in the section below. What did you think about this fight? I will be back with a more in-depth analysis on how I scored the actual fight after I watch it multiple times. Just so I'm very accurate in terms of how I saw the fight. Just watching it, because when I'm watching it for the first time, I don't score fights. I thought it was a great back and forth battle with Ward getting most of the best of those exchanges, essentially. I'm so proud of Ward, man. Kovalev gave it all he had. I think he did what he could, and he came up short. But Ward stopped him in an emphatic fashion, and I think this is this outcome was least predicted. Props have to be given to Virgil Hunter. Man said, I only trained Kovalev or Ward to knock out somebody twice. First one was the Chad Dawson fight. Second one was this one. He knocked him out. Whew. I'll be back, guys. Please leave your comments in the section below. It's the Boxing Doc signing off.